Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through this look right here. It is what I call my effortless date night makeup look. As a woman who is nearly 100% vaccinated at this point, snaps for that. I've been going out, I've been meeting guys, I've been going on dates, just putting myself out there, living my best single life. In between work and everything else going on in my life, I've been needing like a very standard, easy, reliable makeup look to go to every time I'm going out on a date. And I feel like I've mastered it. It is right here, it's on my face, and I think you're gonna love it. I feel like no matter who you are, what your experience level is with makeup, what skin tone you are, doesn't matter. I feel like you can totally execute this look perfectly and you can rock the hell out of it. So if you wanna know how I do my go-to, quick and easy, super reliable date night makeup, just keep watching. All right, so for primer, we're gonna start out with the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is the blurring version. I just have the mini version. I just wanted to try it out, and honestly, it's lasted me a long time. There's a good amount of product in here. It's 0.8 fluid ounces, so if you're looking to try this primer out, I highly recommend it. And if you're not so sure, just right off the bat, again, they do have those pretty healthy sized minis. I really love this primer. I feel like it just sets up your foundation for success. I don't know how blurring it is, but I do feel like it adequately kind of fills in your pores, and I do feel like it allows your foundation to go on in a more blurring way. Lately, the texture on my skin and my pores have just been like a little iffy. I think it's just because I've been stressed with work. So I'm going to quickly follow up with the Catrice Prime and Fine Smoothing Primer. I just feel like this does a little bit better of a job in terms of actually filling in the pores. I feel like the blurring primer is nice and like hydrating and just like gives you an overall great base. But if you're looking to like get at those more problematic areas of your skin that have a bit more texture or get a little bit more oily, I do feel like it's always nicer to go in with more of like a silicone-y primer, which is what this Catrice one is. And especially when you're on a date, you want to make sure that foundation is looking flawless as possible. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. I love this foundation so much. You do have to shake pretty vigorously, I won't lie. It's a bit of a workout. But once that's done, you're just gonna get this applicator and just drop a few drops onto the back of your hand. Then I usually just like to take my finger and start dotting it on the like lower half of my face. And then I'll take the Real Techniques makeup sponge and start blending that in. I feel like you can already see that there's just like a dewiness to this side of the face, and it kind of covered up like all my redness. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, and that's why I like this foundation, is like you can see my real skin through it, but it does really do a great job at evening out my skin tone. And I really love how this sponge applies this product. I feel like it's just so dewy. I feel like I'm glowing on camera right now. It's so beautiful. Like you can just tell the difference. I feel like, at least, where like it's on here and not on here. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm like just so incredibly obsessed with this product. I'm actually probably going to take another drop of this. Usually it takes about 2 drops for me to feel like I adequately got my face covered. Just because I usually go back in, I've been having like a bit of texture around, you know, my cheeks and nose area. So I usually just go back in and build up the coverage. It is a little buildable. I mean, the best you're gonna get is light to medium coverage, but it definitely does help to go back in with a second layer. And I do feel like it layers really nicely. Another thing I really love about this foundation is that I do feel like it wears really, really nicely throughout the course of quite a few hours. It doesn't break down, it doesn't look bad, it just looks so like unbelievably natural on the skin. I hope you guys can tell on camera. So this next step is a little counterintuitive. I'm gonna take a pretty full coverage concealer just because I feel like where I really need the coverage is underneath my eyes, just because I have very puffy under eyes. Just it's just dark and it's just not like cute. So what I do is I take the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear concealer in the shade 340 Fawn, and I've been starting to do that technique that like everybody's doing, where you just do one swipe right here and then one swipe up here, rather than the like triangle method that I've always used my whole life. Do I notice a lot of difference? I do not, but I've been trying it out, just seeing what I think. I mean, I still, like, even though it's applied in different areas, I still feel like I make the triangle when I blend it out. If you can see, like, I'm taking it like all the way down here and then I'm blending it out. Like, it's still a triangle. Oh my god, there's my neighbor's cat is at my window right now. It scared the shit out of me. So anyways, I don't really notice a difference when I do this technique versus the old way, but if I'm doing it wrong, let me know in the comments, definitely correct me. But I feel like you can't really tell that like it's a light coverage foundation and then a full coverage concealer. I feel like it just all like meshes really well together, and I feel like once everything comes together, like the blush, the powder, everything, it's gonna look really nice and natural. It's definitely been my go-to lately. And I've also just been falling back in love with this concealer. I can definitely foresee this being in my April favorites. It just, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. I can't even believe the coverage that it provides, and it just, oh my god, it looks so good on the skin. It's just it. Like, this concealer is bomb. I just can't believe generally like how many good concealers are at the drugstore. I have a hard time convincing myself to buy any high-end concealer just because I have so many good ones from the drugstore. So if you're looking for a good, trusty, full coverage concealer from the drugstore, this L'Oreal one is where it's at. So before I move on to powders, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Bora. I have not been able to get enough of this blush. I think it is just so freaking pretty, so like feminine and just honestly like youthful and girly. I just honestly cannot get enough of how it applies, how it wears, how it looks. I seriously just adore this blush. I definitely need to get more colors in this formula because I just love it. So then for powder, I'm gonna go in with Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Primer. Obviously, I really love this powder. Gonna do my classic trick, take some powder on my pointer finger and just run that underneath my eyes where I have fine lines, just to prevent my concealer from creasing. No matter what concealer I wear, it's not a testament to the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear concealer. It's a testament to just how my under eyes deal with concealer in general. I always have concealer crease underneath my eyes. Doesn't matter what the formula is like, doesn't matter if it's matte, if it's super dewy, it just doesn't matter. My concealer always creases. So after I do that, I'm just going to take this powder and run it all over my face, even over the blush that I just applied. This powder really doesn't have much coverage at all, so you can still see my blush peeking through. Now that my face is set, I'm going to be taking bronzer, and I'm still really loving this Jaclyn Cosmetics bronzer and blush duo in the shade Sunkissed and Bronze Moment. I like the blush a lot, but what I'm really here for is this bronzer and Bronze Moment. So I'm just going to be taking my Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH02 brush, and I love this freaking bronzer brush. It's so good. I was using the Morphe M530 brush for a while, but you can see this is definitely a lot more like smaller, very pointed in the application, versus this is just a big fat brush. It kind of freaked me out at first. I was like, that's too big. I feel like I'm gonna just be applying bronzer everywhere, but now that I've started using it, quite frankly, I have not been able to go back. And I also forgot to tell you guys the brushes that I was using for my powder. It was just this Sigma F30 brush, and for the e.l.f. Putty Blush, it was the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH04, just this kind of angled synthetic brush. So back to the bronzer, I'm just, again, taking this on my forehead, underneath my blush a little bit. I'm not trying to contour or anything like that, just trying to warm up the face, and then taking it underneath my jawline and a little bit on the neck as well. So even though I set my face, I still feel like you can see like the natural dewiness that this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint gives. Just so natural and so pretty, but I do want to amp out the glow just a little bit more. So I'm going to take the ColourPop Flexitarian highlighter and just lightly apply this on my cheekbones with my finger. This is a very metallic highlighter, so you do have to be very careful with how you apply it, or else you're gonna kind of look like you have robot cheeks. You can just see it's just such a pretty highlighter. Oh, I just love it. It's just like a very like pretty vanilla color. Oh, I don't know, it's just so pretty. I also have been using the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter in this former like 4-pan palette. I've been using the shade Gleam all the freaking time. It's the lightest shade right here. But when Jaclyn brought back a bunch of her highlighters, Gleam, my favorite shade, was not in that like batch. I am hoping, I have been tagging them on Instagram, begging for them to bring back this shade because like I cannot live without it. And another step I sometimes do if I feel like I need a little extra glow. Today I feel like I'm good, but if I feel like I want a little bit extra like oomph on my skin, I'll take the Jaclyn Cosmetics Luminous Powder and Brighten Up, and I'll just like kind of apply it all over my face, sometimes just on the high points of my face. It's a really, really, really beautiful like brightening powder. Okay, so moving on to brows, I'm just gonna take, of course, the Benefit Gimme Brow. I don't use anything else for my brows. It's kind of sad. I'm just like stuck in a rut, but like once you find something that totally works for you, like why quit it? And the same thing goes for my eyeshadow primer. I've been using the same one forever, and it's just the Milani eyeshadow primer. Again, I found something good, and like, why do I have to stray away from that? But if you guys do have good eyeshadow primer recommendations, let me know in the comments. But I have a hard time like justifying paying a lot for an eyeshadow primer for like, when I know something at the drugstore for like less than $10 works really well. So for eyeshadow, I've been keeping it very, very simple. I have been just taking this bronzer, so you can use whatever bronzer that you use, you know, all over your face. I've been taking that with a fluffy crease brush. This is the Morphe M504, and I have just been literally being so lazy, just fluffing this around in the crease. I don't build up definition. I don't do anything. I literally just lay down a very simple crease color, just buffing, blending. It is literally the easiest thing you could possibly do with eyeshadow. It is essentially foolproof. So once that is built up to my satisfaction in the crease, again, nothing too crazy. You can see like really not a ton of definition, just something really natural. I am gonna go in with this Jaclyn highlighter palette. So you can use whatever highlight you want, but I recently saw this on Instagram, on the Jaclyn Cosmetics Instagram, and I thought it looked so pretty. Some person used the highlighter iced all over her lid, and I just thought it looked so pretty and just like effortless, and I was just so obsessed with it. So that's what I've been doing for like all my dates recently. It just is so easy. It cuts down my makeup time, so I don't really have to like think about what eyeshadow look I want to do. And sometimes I do, like sometimes I want to like sit here, be creative with eyeshadow, but like sometimes I just want to roll out the door. I have a lot of work to do. I need to get to my date or hang out with a friend or whatever. And sometimes I just don't have time to really think about it. And this has just been my go-to lately. I just feel like it just really opens up the eyes. And it's just so stupid simple. And also with like springtime rolling around, I want something that's a little bit lighter, something that's not too heavy on the eyes, something that just makes my eyes look super bright and wide awake. And I feel like this combination of just a little bit of bronzer in the crease and a really pretty highlight on the eyelids, I feel like, oh, slap that on, you're good to go. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go back in really quick with that bronzer and just quickly touch things up. But for the most part, you are ready to walk out the door. And so for my inner corner and brow bone highlight, I'm gonna take the shade Sparks. I really want to take the shade Gleam, but I won't because I know it's not in stock, but I know Sparks did come back in stock with the large highlighter collection. Again, Jaclyn Hill, Jaclyn Cosmetics. If you're listening to this or somebody can get their attention, please beg them to bring back the shade Gleam. It is my favorite. I've never had a highlight in my life like it. Before I get on to mascara, I'm just gonna quickly set my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. So while everything on my face sets, I'm gonna go in with the Jaclyn Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Cupcake. I'm embarrassed to say that I'm still learning how to use lip liner. I've just never used it before and never really needed it. But anything that Jaclyn Hill puts out, basically I feel like a very deep need to have. And the Cupcake shade list looked so pretty that I couldn't resist. I'm just kind of lining the lower boundaries of my lower lip, and then I'm going to take this to my upper lip. I have tried overlining my lips, especially because my upper lip is so much smaller than my lower lip. Drives me nuts. I've been thinking about fillers. I feel like I'd look stupid, so I'm probably not gonna get them. But I've thought about it because like the disproportion drives me nuts. My brother and I have like the same exact lips, and it drives both of us crazy because like it's just like we have no upper lip and have like big fat bottom lip. It's really funny because neither one of our parents like has that sort of weird disproportioned lip. It's just the two of us. Anyways, I've tried overlining my upper lip. I just feel like it looks really stupid, so I'm just gonna keep in the lines today. And I also ordered the lip liner shade in Macaroon, and I really like that too, but I feel like Cupcake goes best with the liquid lip that I'm gonna apply, and the liquid lip that I got is called Outspoken. I adore this color, and I adore how this smells. I'm not gonna go super hard with this application. I'm just gonna apply like a thin layer here and start to blot it out with my finger. I will be honest, this is usually not what I do when I go on dates. Usually I wear the Bobbi Brown gloss in the shade Buff. It's just my favorite and it's always in my purse. It's not that I wouldn't wear this on a date, I don't know, I just always gravitate towards glossy lips, and I love that lip gloss shade, but for the sake of the video, for the sake of like diversifying my looks up, I wanted to use this like rather new product on the market and just kind of share my thoughts. Overall, I really do like it. It's honestly like nothing I have in my collection. The shade is just very, very unique. It's comfortable on the lips, it's a pretty color, and I love how it smells. I just honestly have no complaints. Although I will say this is impossible to take off, which for a liquid lip is a good thing because you don't want it sliding all over the place. But when it comes to taking it off at night, this is a bitch to get off. You like really have to sit there with a makeup remover wipe and like scrub at your lips. I remember when I first swatched this on my hand, I was trying to just get things off with like soap and water, and it would not budge. It would not go anywhere. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, and then finally we're gonna go in with mascara. I've been trying this kind of weird mascara routine where I layer two mascaras. I first go in with the Benefit Rollerlash, and I just do a quick coat of that. So this is what one eye looks like with one coat of the Benefit Rollerlash. And then I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl Clump Crusher, which if you've been watching my videos, you know, me and this mascara, it's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like chicken and waffles. It's like burgers and fries. I don't know why chicken and waffles was one of those combinations, but it just came to mind. So anyways, I love this mascara very, very much. And I don't know why I've been layering these two, but I have. I won't lie, it takes a lot of work and patience to get the lash that I like because I like a very fanned out, separated lash. No clumps, like no clumps fly in my book. So it just takes a bit of work, but I think it's worth it for the ultimate end look. And then once I'm satisfied with what's on top, I will just take the CoverGirl Clump Crusher and hit my bottom lashes as well. And then we will go ahead and do the same thing for the other eye. Okay, now that everything is on, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray just one more time. Okay, so this is the finished look. This is my effortless date night look. I feel like if I was just sitting here at the table, no distractions, this would take me probably 15 minutes to just throw together. So for a date night look, I feel like it is on the more like effortless, no fuss side of the spectrum. We just got some glowy skin, some really simple eyes, and a really cute lip. You can do whatever you want with the lips. You can just slap on chapstick, or you can do a gloss, or you can do a liquid lip. You can do whatever you want. But overall, a pretty natural look, and I feel like anybody can do this. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial and learned a little something from it. If you did like it, give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what other videos you want to see from me. And of course, subscribe if you're not subscribed and join the family that we got going on here. So thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.